Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh. Ouch. Let's turn the tape thing off, which I could always turn right back on. Yeah, I was playing with tape loops all week, and or my version of tape loops. Excuse the scratchy voice. Not quite out of the woods just yet, but why does the mic sound so weird? I'm not sure why the mic sounds so weird, but it's gonna have to work. So hi everyone. So let's see. Hi Vega, hi Claudio, Patricio is in the house, Thomas Benton Gray checking in from Houston, JPK Knights on Twitch, Mean Gene, Claudio, did I say that already? Sean, Mai, thank you, Joe Hernandez, Jose, Tesla DM, thank you. Oh, Tesla DM says, yesterday one of the channels dedicated to vinyl records made an episode about you. You know, someone just sent me the link. I haven't seen it yet, but I will watch it tonight or sometime tomorrow. But thank you for telling me, because that's kind of cool. I saw like 3 seconds of it turned red and I had to turn it off. But continuing, Carlos, Sean, what DAW are you using? We'll get into that, I think. Claudio, I don't mind a double shout out. Good. Carlos Blanco, hi from Brazil. Nice. I don't see anyone from Bandcamp, but apparently I'm streaming on Bandcamp right now, but I'm not sure if that's working yet. So someone will have to tell me if that worked. But, hi. I'm sort of here. I'm sort of here too. The link? Oh, the Bandcamp link. Oh, I think you get it right from going to the anythingbox Bandcamp page, I think. I'm not sure how that works. I wasn't... It was one of those weird things where I kind of said, sure, let me try it. And I plugged it in, but not sure. Anyway, how are you guys? Why does the mic sound so weird? I have to fix this. Hold on, okay? Hold on. There's something going on here. Of course there's something going on. Hold on. This is why I am not a YouTuber. Because stuff like this doesn't happen to YouTubers. Apparently I can't even grab a flashlight. What is going on? What is going on here? What? I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with this. There are days when I get frustrated with this stuff. But anyway, here I am. Oh, it sounds a little better. Or is it just my compressed ears? Because everything's odd right now. Vega, I'm at a comedy club in Palm Springs. Well, he's probably funnier than I am at the moment. Or maybe I'm funnier. I don't know. It depends. You may hear some coughing, by the way, but don't worry. We're screens apart. You can't get sick from me at this point. But anyway, I thought I was messing around with quite a few different things this week. I wanted to get back into just practicing odd things, timing, weirdness. So I thought I would do some like sequencing that was like completely live with no quantization whatsoever, and that I would just, bring things up and down and just try different things, like having tape that I could control with a fader, that kind of stuff. And I wrote some songs in a weird sort of dubby sort of way. So I kind of like was enjoying myself quite a bit this week, which was quite a change from last week and the week prior after I got back from Vegas because I got sick. I think I have the you-know-what, but it's almost done. It did its thing, but it's leaving. Although it's been strange, I will tell you one thing about this that's kind of odd. Well, maybe I'll save it after a song. I can't tell because my ears are compressed, and that's one thing that I noticed happened, that my ears got a little bit compressed, which is why I can't tell if the mic sounds really good or really bad, because to me it sounds like really bad, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. Anyway, but I will say this. It's been an interesting journey the last couple weeks, but we'll get into it. For tonight, I just decided I was just going to play some old demos. So nothing too crazy, but let me pull them up real quick because I have a... There we go. Hey, don't start playing stuff. Not ready for that yet, man. Chill out. Computer's like, yeah, let me play a song. You're talking too much. Joe says, you probably have a cold and not the usual thing that's going around. No, I can tell you it's not a usual thing. Some interesting parts of it are weird. So I can taste coffee, but that's about it. I don't have any other sort of... It was odd, like eating spaghetti and meatballs, and it tasted like the meatballs were like made out of sponges. And I couldn't taste anything. And I haven't been able to smell things for like the last 2 weeks. So my sense of smell is gone. Although it came back tonight. So I can kind of smell things now, which is kind of cool. But it's almost done. It's done its thing, which is good. I had a few days of fever and that kind of thing. And then I did what I had to do. And stayed indoors for pretty much the whole time, and which was a good thing in a weird way because my car is in the shop and it needed a new engine. My car needed an entirely new engine. I kid you not. So after the tour, when I got back from El Centro, which was fantastic, by the way, because I don't think I've been streaming since I got back. After El Centro, which was awesome. About a week later, Christmas came around. Non-eventful. It was all good. But then we went over to Vegas for New Year's Eve, and that's when I, finally, after like a year of like avoiding the thing, I got the thing. So, oh well. But no worse for the wear. I'm fine. But anyway, for those that were texting me and saying, like how I'm doing and stuff, thanks. It's all good. It's all good. But I still can't sing. I was going to try to sing tonight, but it's not ready for prime time yet. By next week, I should be able to. But at any rate, I digress. So I'm going to play some demos and and stuff like that. I was looking for a particular song because I'd posted something and I realized, I'm talking too much again. But anyway, I'm going to play you a song. This is from 1988-ish. And this is coming off a tape. And I've done this I've played this one before, but it's not out on anything. So I'm going to figure out a way to release the demos, but until then, at least you get to hear them here when I do these things. But I was in the mood for this one because of the apropos feeling. So anyway, someone taking over me, and we'll put on some visuals. At least I think that's what I'm going to play.
There's someone taking over me. Look at the camera, see it take a picture. Look at the image of my fragile face. I'm not the man that I used to be. Someone has taken over me. He uses my hands, he uses my eyes, but he's not the person that I want to be. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. I want to run, I need to escape. I want to run, I need to feel like myself. Look in the horizon, the sun is falling downward. My images of pain will coexist. Look into my eyes, see they're not my eyes. Older and colder they've become. They used to see the world, they used to see the beauty. Now they only gaze upon decay. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. Look into the factory, feel its breath on you. Cornered in the vacuum of what we call existence. What is it worth to us all? The person that I have inside will bury me alive, but I've got to get some air before I have to die. There's someone living inside of me, and I can't resist him. There's someone living inside of me, and I can't get away. There's someone living inside of me, and I won't get away. There's someone living inside of me. I want to run, I want to hide, I want to escape, I want to feel like myself, but there's nobody home.
So if all goes well, it'll stop. And there goes that voice. I can do a nice eat a bunker with this voice. I don't know. It's a strange thing. It comes and goes. We love you too, Fega. It's awesome that you're at a comedy show. Uh, ah, but yes. It's just a strange, strange thing. Oh, no. I'm going to make the Tampa show. There's no doubt. I'm feeling amazingly much better, number one. Two, I know myself really well. So I think that, just in case you guys are wondering, I think that in a week I should be like back to rehearsals full on. So we'll see. Maybe next week what I'll do for the stream is I'll do a rehearsal and you can tell me how I'm doing. But I could have done it, I could have. I just need to kind of stretch the vocal cords out, get all the, the phlegm stuff out if it's in there and get it all out. So eventually I will. Just been trying not to overexert while I'm getting to, back to normal. But I think what made it worse was also being stuck at home, knowing that the car was in such bad shape. Because I mentioned, right, that Jane's engine's like dead. And she's having it replaced. Not good. But at the same time, at least I'll have a brand new car, brand new vocal cords. I should be fine. Everything should be great. And I'm grateful. So, and I've got shows coming. So, and pizza to look forward to, right? Right, Figa? We're going to have pizza in a week or so, maybe. Or maybe when I get back. We'll have to think about that. But, yeah. But honestly, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year doing some good work. So I'm not worried too much about anything else at the moment. But anyway, as you can see, I do feel better. You can tell I look better, maybe? Well, you wouldn't have known. You didn't see my unshaven, like, self. I kind of kept that out. Oregano tea breaks that crud up real well. Oh, you know what's funny about that? I do have oregano pills, and I'm going to start taking them tomorrow. I should have done that this week. Good idea. But all is well. But, yeah, no, you wouldn't like the unshaven look. It looks really bad. It's one of those things where I'm happy to say there's not that many pictures of me in that state. I'm vain. I won't allow it. But yeah, I was messing around with a lot of different echo boxes and things like that. And I was thinking about the first show where we had rented an EMX 80, which is this old mixer that we had. And it had a sound that was really cool. And so I got all nostalgic this week. And I was like, I want that sound. And so I went and built myself like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different echo units. Because I can build them in my software. So I went in and I studied it for like a week. Not having much else to do. And I rebuilt these machines. And then, these cool like funky beats came out. So, but yeah, I was working on that stuff, and it reminded me that there's still a lot of stuff I need to record and get resequenced and work out, which is one of those things. Like, I will ask you this question since you're obviously watching right now live, but this question will remain even when it becomes a normal YouTube video tomorrow, which is, do you care about your New Year's resolution? Did you set one? I did not, because I always think that every time I do it, it's going to be like this thing that I'm not going to stick to, and then I'm going to feel bad about it on top of that. So I actually didn't set one. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to make some meaningful changes for 2022. I just haven't figured out what those meaningful changes are just yet. But I would be interested to know, like, if you did set some, what are they? Like, tell me. I want to know. I want to, like, I'm here. You can talk to me. So you can ask me questions and stuff. So I just want to know what you thought about coming into 2022. Did you feel different? Does it feel like we're heading back towards something better? Does it feel like already much the same as last year? Like, how do you feel about it? Me personally, I think 2021 was pretty good because I got to do shows and I was really happy to get out there and play. And it was nice to return to shows and fans and talk to people, hug them, and, all that stuff. Vega is drunk. Well, Thomas says, nah, same shit, different year. Okay, I can agree that it could go. I'm working on my anger. Oh, I didn't know you had anger. Okay, Vega, if anyone in the world doesn't have anger, I haven't seen it. So I don't know. I haven't seen it. But at any rate, yeah. So one of the things I thought that I would work on, which I don't have a choice now, was to make sure the car was well maintained. It kind of beat me to that one, didn't it? So now I'm going to have a car with a brand new engine, and I'm going to have to be really nice to Jane. And I think one of the promises that I made was that I was going to take more trips with the car out into the wild, like we used to with the camera, and take pictures and do more videos. So I think I'm going to do that. That's something I'm going to work towards right after those shows. I don't know. After that, I'm going to work on some songs. Although I have quite a backlog of songs. But I thought I would do something. I don't know. Something. I'm going to record something. This year is like the year of releasing stuff. I think I need to get busy to release things because that's something I need to do. So, but yeah. Jose says 2021 was a roller coaster, but I tend to count my blessings rather than the bad stuff or the not so great stuff. This year, not what I expected yet. I will agree with that. 2021 was sort of a roller coaster. I was happy to do gigs, but it was still going in different directions, right? I don't know. Maybe this year is going to be a little different. I'm hoping. I can hear that scratchy throat thing. See, it's happening. It's going to the Archie thing's going to come out. Archie! Anyway. So let's play a song. Because if I don't, I'm just going to keep talking about stuff. Sean says, I hope to buy a house and build a new studio. Good for you. Good for you, Sean. I want to do the same exact thing. That is my goal. That's been my goal, by the way, since 2019. 2020 kind of threw me under the bus, and 2021 kind of just got me from looking under the bus. But I am definitely going to be working on that goal because I want a new studio. I want a different studio. Well, I'm going to play a song, and then when we come back, I'll tell you what kind of studio I want to have, and then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Maybe. All right, let's play a song. Overhead. Ooh, colorful overhead, indeed. This one. So this one is the second recording, I believe. No, this could be the first one, actually. Soul on Fire, 1989 version off of the Reel to Reel. This one's not released, I don't think. I don't think I put this on anything, but anyway, here it is.
Unsere Liebe ist verlieren.
Hey, that's weird. Okay, something went wrong. And I think I know what it is, so hold on. Because something just went weird.
Unsere Liebe ist verlieren.
There we go. Correct pitch. So funny. So yeah, I know I've played this. Look, all of these I've played before, full disclosure, but they all go for, I was going back to like 9, 20, 30, 40, something like that. So they're all like from different little areas. So Thomas says, yeah, I was wondering why there was no Danya. Yeah, there's no Danya on this one because there's another version that I haven't found, but there's a version that was the old abox version. And we'd done a demo, but it was slower and we didn't like it. And so I sort of took it and I was going to work on it over the weekend or something. And then I recorded this version. And then the next 2 or 3 days, they came over and heard it. And they were like, yeah, that's right. This is the way we should do it. And then that's, kind of where we went. So that's why her voice is not on it. So this was recorded in a little apartment. And it was like really, really tiny apartment right next to, if I try to recall all the elements, there was literally a reel-to-reel, my Juno, the ESQ, the MPC, which I was still learning. And there was some samples that I took, record scratching samples. And then Janya's voice is actually on it if you count the sample, because that's her voice. But I slowed it down. And it was in the, I'm trying to remember like the whole room. The reel-to-reel was off to the side, and then there was a balcony. So like you could literally open the balcony and then people could hear everything. So it was like a really crappy apartment studio where this was done. But is this the version on the Artifact? No, or it could be, because there's 2 versions on the Artifact. So probably it could be. It could be, but maybe the one on Artifact sounds a little nicer than this one, because this one is like raw right off the reel. So anyway, but so yeah, so I was not sure what I was going to play tonight. I wanted to do some singing, so what I ambitiously thought I was going to do was I was going to work on like a writing session, and I was going to have like 2 or 3 songs that I was working on and then try to sing them. But I've been playing the songs for like 3 or 4 days, humming them and hearing them in my head, but not actually in front of a microphone. So today when I actually sat down to play them, it was like, ooh, you're not ready yet, man. So not quite ready for prime time with that stuff. So I had to kind of backpedal on that a little bit. But anyway, but I was writing. So I've been writing a lot. So it's kind of cool to go back and look through all the folders and say, wow, like I have 5 songs there. I have 2 songs there. I've got, so something's going on. So we'll see if I can sort it out. So obviously as I get back into work, what I call work mode, which is like opening folders and looking at songs and like trying to figure out, times for doing rehearsals versus recording versus arrangements versus sequencing and NFTs and everything else that I've been thinking about. That's right, I haven't forgotten. So because of all that stuff, I've obviously, once I got sick, I was like, this sucks. But on the other hand, I did absolutely nothing but just be creative for the last 2 weeks. So that's not a bad thing. So, wait. Somebody just wrote something. Oh. Well, Taurus, good luck. Keep us posted. We're here for you. So, talk to us. Tell us everything you need to tell us. Don't worry about a thing. I think you're going to be okay. Yeah, but, yeah. One must count their blessings. So, I'm not going to read it out loud, but if you read it on the chat, I think you'll understand. You know, it's one of those things where as you get older, because look, I understand, because as you get older, this is when all these weird things start to surface, right? Where you have to start thinking about your mortality. So I'm not immune. I'm not immune. It's just, we do our best, right? We do the best we can. That's all I can say. We do the best we can. No, you did not. I just think it's brave of you to just say it. I think that, I think the best thing to do is to put on the brave face and face it head on rather than, you know, hide under a rock. So I think you're doing fine. We'll send the energy your way, just like Mai just said. We'll just send that energy to you, man. It makes, if anything, it makes the trivial things that sometimes, you know, we feel about like our health. And I mean the trivial things like, oh, I got a cold or I got a headache. This sucks. Well, many things suck worse. So that's why I always try to say, you know, be grateful, stay grateful. It's really important. So that's the main thing. Stay grateful. But so yeah, so there I was, just writing songs all week, trying to figure all this stuff out. But it was nice to think about those. Sorry, I'm going to get back into the echo boxes. I hope you don't mind. I wanted to think about those old machines and those old things because it gives me a sense of nostalgia, obviously. So I was going to find that very first show, and I think I know where it might be. So maybe by next week, I'll try to isolate a song or two from that very first abox show, which I may actually, well, there's 2 official abox shows. The first one is Worthless. And I know we don't have that on anything. But the first official show, I actually have it on videotape. So I should be able to roll out that song and we can hear what an EMX80 spring verb sounds like. So I'm going to try to dig that out by next week. Although I can't promise that the songs are going to be good because it was like some of the first stuff I wrote and it was not that good. But it's nice to have it. So I'm going to see if I can transfer at least 1 or 2 songs and then, you know, then we'll have them. Until then, I'll just play what we're doing now and just, you know, whatever. But, so let's play a song. So this one I've played many times, but it's got me on this kick that I know there's another version that I got to find. But this particular World Without Love, I like a lot because it's a rehearsal and it's a little bit on the off side. And this one ends abruptly because it's a rehearsal. But it's funny because you can actually hear that this is a rehearsal. So this is abox. At the time, it would have been me, Danya, and Mikey doing World Without Love in our rehearsal studio that was in my house at the time. And I love that room. And I love the way these recordings sound because of that room. So it's one of those like sounds that I love chasing. But here it is. I will play it. And for that, we'll turn on the moon overhead because I felt like looking at it.
If you heard me say our world is everything, I would be dreaming of living quietly.
always forget that that's going to come. It's funny. But yeah, that's a rehearsal. But somewhere in the universe of my reel-to-reels, and I haven't found it yet, there's a version called World Without Dub, and it's a long version of a rehearsal of this. And it was us playing with a bunch of delays and things, and I know I have it somewhere. I just haven't found it. So I'm hoping I can find it. But it's one of those I need to look for it. But and it all of this stuff takes time, obviously. So, but I'm gonna look for it because it's worth finding. Because I would love to resequence some of these and do these versions live, which I think would be cool. I'll tell you one thing that happened. My old ESQ. I found the sequences, and I actually found certain sound packs that I used to have that I can load back in. And although it's misbehaving, the keyboard itself is misbehaving, and I may get it fixed, or I may just find a different one or something. But the point I'm making is I was able to find some of those sounds, and I could resequence some of these. So it would be kind of fun to maybe do a version like that live, and just instead of the standard one, I would just do one like this. Because that's another thing that I've been thinking about after doing the live shows is this weird conundrum that I find myself in. And I'm not unique, and I think we've had this conversation before, but I'm going to bring it up again because it's a new year and I could use the advice. So maybe this advice coming from you guys will actually help me sort through my own feelings, as it were. So there's this thing that goes in my head, right? Which is like, why write new material at all? Like, why write at all? Like, why sit down and make new songs when I go to play somewhere and everybody just wants to hear, stuff from the first three. And I can't help it. It just happens. I could do entire sets that are nothing but peace, hope, and worth. And maybe throw an Electrodelica song in there or something. But for the most part, people always ask me for songs from those first three records. So obviously, I could do an entire set with nothing but those songs, and that's it. It's done. So obviously, this is something that happens all the time. Now, obviously, if I do a new record, I would want to play that too. And so every time I try to get away with certain things, it either doesn't work or I feel that pressure. So I actually think it has more to do with me than it has to do with the fans. I think it's more inside of me where I feel the pressure of like, if I take three songs that are new and I stick them in the set, that's three songs less that I can play from those other ones that everybody wants to hear. Unless, of course, I just make the shows longer and longer. But that's no fun because overly long shows suck. I'm sorry, I don't like them. I don't like seeing them. I know there's people that go and watch The Cure for like 4 hours and think they saw the best thing in the world, but I've seen The Cure for 4 hours and it's not the best thing in the world. After the fourth hour, I'm like, I just want to go home. And I don't like that feeling. So I would rather like leave people with more, wanting more than, But, yeah, so anyway, so one of the things that I thought of doing was, well, there's a lot of material where I could use a different version of a song and play a different version of it than what's normal. And of course, I've done that here and there. So obviously, if you ever watched an abox show, there's about 3 or 4 versions of Living in Oblivion now. There's 2 versions of Jubilation that I do. There's 2 versions of Do You Hear Me Anymore? Although the old one we don't do anymore. The newer one's nicer, so I think the newer one's a lot better. But It's one of those things, you know. So obviously, I'm not going to be doing like some giant release where it's like 30 new songs, which I'm never going to play live. Like that kind of stuff I can't do anymore. And that's kind of sad, but it's true. So I've kind of come to grips with it. And I've come to the conclusion that this is how I could get away with it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this maybe horrible idea. But so one thing I thought of was do the live shows as is, meaning play stuff like, shut up and do the hits. In other words, play the stuff that people want to hear from the first 3 records. Don't worry about anything else, really. Stick a song here and there, but for the most part, stick to what they want. But on record or on the streams, do whatever the hell I want, because then it's a completely different sort of medium, right? So I could see myself doing like a stream where the stream is an oddity. But I'm still struggling with that. I'm still thinking about that. So, yes, exactly. Gotta fill the venue. And then people say, are you going to play this song? Like, I get this from the promoters themselves, by the way. They'll ask me, like, as if it's some sort of weird, like, thing they have to broach. It's like, hey, you're going to play, like, When We Lie, right? You're not going to, like, do something weird? And it's like, yeah, no, I'll play it. Of course. As if I hate those songs or something. I don't. Which is why I always play those songs. I wouldn't play a song I hate. So there is an admission. I wouldn't. If for some reason I found that I loathe something, like where I learned to loathe a song, I wouldn't be able to play it live. I have to be able to feel the song. So because people have special relationships with those 3 albums, I try never to mess with those songs so that they mess with me in any way. Because if that happens, we're screwed. Because then it would be screwy. I would never want to play them, and then that would be mayhem. Thank God I don't have those feelings. I read it from other artists. I don't have those feelings. Thank God I don't. So I could play Living in Oblivion forever. It probably wouldn't bother me at all. So that's good. Yeah, none of that avant-garde stuff. Exactly. But see, on a stream, though, I can get away with it because it's different. It's like sit on your couch, sip your soda or whatever it is you're drinking, and this is going to be weird, and it could fly. And then what happens, I think, is if you play something that is off kilter, but it starts to become liked, then you could probably enter it into the set. But then again, I don't know. This is like one of those weird gray areas where I'm still kind of working it out. Like I felt guilty even just playing Dead Stars on the last tour. And I shouldn't have, because it was a new 12-inch and it was like, we're working hard on it. And, there's a nice live version I made, But I did play Hello in 1 or 2 places, and that worked out. So I can get away with certain ones. So anyway, but it's kind of where it's guiding me into like, what should I resequence? What should I bring out again? And why am I talking so much? Why do I just keep talking and talking and talking? Because I was sick and I missed you guys. But so anyway, so that's kind of the goal. So another thing is to bring you in, because I thought that it would be nice that if you saw like how I might jam with certain things and it's like, is this turning into a song? Will that turn into a song? And, these are things that have happened. Last year, I realized that I played quite a few interesting songs that I quite liked, but I never took them any further because I was busy playing out. So I'm going to revisit some of those, and then I'll bring them into the live set here. And then we'll see how they go when it's time to bring them out there. And then maybe that'll work. Oh. But I feel like, obviously, if I played more, in other words, if I had more shows, then there would be more room. Because then you have a little wiggle room. It's like, you know, you take a song off here and you add it there, and you take it, you know, you add a song from Worth on that set, but you don't play it on this set. So that's kind of cool. Well, Houston. Yeah, that was a different kind of show because I only had like 4 songs. I don't know. We'll talk about that on the way back. But let's play a song. So here's one that I actually did resequence, and we don't tend to play it a lot, but it is one of my favorite songs. So one day when we were at rehearsal, it was actually Danya that brought it up and said, you should take song X and resequence it, and then maybe you could do it like during an encore. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She goes, I think you really should do that one. So following her lead, I went back and resequenced the entire song. I have it, but we never actually re-recorded it, and we played it once or twice. I think we played it in Ecuador once. But I'm going to play the demo for you right now. You can still catch this song on Spotify, but it's an old one. So this one is The Pain I Inherited. And I'll put on the, whatever this camera is. Ooh, I like this one. I keep forgetting which camera is which now. I have like 3, and I'm going to get a 4th. Just saying. CosmoWorks just asked, what sort of keyboards were used on this? This one was simple. I can tell you right off. This was a tom drum machine going through a MIDI verb. That was it, the sound of it. It had a really nice reverb on it that sounded sort of feedback metallic. So I always liked it because it gave the drums this weird kind of thing. So it would change the drum machine completely. It was permanently set to it. It was like its industrial sound. So the drums were tom. Juno 6, of course, for doing the string things. And the rest of it was ESQ1. All of that is an ESQ1, doing about 5 parts. So, yeah, really simple. That was a really, really simple one. Which is why, like, some of those I've redone. And then, not to make them more complex, but just beef them up a little bit so that I could play them live. And this is one of the ones I have in my back pocket. Whenever I want, I can play it. So I kind of like having this one around, but haven't been brave enough to play it just yet in certain situations. But I think I'm going to get better at that because, as Steve just pointed out, we used to debate the stuff all the time. Like when it was a trio, it was even harder because we would debate these things up and down and backwards. So I can recall that, I'm not speaking for her. This is something Donnie has said. She thought that The Universe is Expanding was one of her favorite records, right? So she really liked it. She had just come back into the fold. We had gone to South America. So she was totally into that album. So she was like, let's play everything. And I was like, well, we can't. And, so we had these debates where it was like, do we do what we used to call them Vegas sets. This is what we normally call a set, where it's basically peace, worth, and hope. And that's it. We used to call that a Vegas set. So we would put a set together, and then each of us would have like 4 or 5 songs that we wanted to play that was just for us. Like, if you could take 5 songs from any era, whatever, like, what would you play? And we would bring these 5 songs to the table. And it was funny because they would never be the same 5. So we would fight about the 5. And then even if we had 5, very seldom would those 5 make it into the final set. So it was really difficult to kind of navigate that. Now, obviously, that's gotten a lot better. It's easier for me now because it's no big deal. Like I said, it's easy to just play the favorites because no big deal. But what you want to do is, of course, build on the legacy, right? Because you want to be able to say to someone, well, you really should hear this song because this is what inspired this, or this came from this, and this was older, and we finally got to recording it. So one of the songs we did start playing out a lot was Heaven, and we would play that out. And I think I even did it in Colorado last year. I think I did it. I know I did it in Seattle. Yeah, I did it in Seattle, I did it in Colorado, and I played it in Jersey. And it went over really, really well. And so it's a shame that we never got to record that particular song, which is funny. We've had songs on the set that we've actually never released, which is even weirder than playing a song from an album that no one ever heard before. It's even weirder when you play a song. It's like, this is unreleased. So, Industrial Wasteland too, because I think we played that in El Paso back in 1991. And I mean, that was with us forever. That was like a staple song. We used to play that at the Pipeline all the time, and the Loop and all that. So I think it's funny. So I know that certain ones will make the rounds and come around again, which I think is funny. But it's an interesting, let me put it to this way. that's a happy thing to be having as a problem, right? It could be worse. It could be only the one album and no one would know anything past a certain number of songs. And then you're like, well, the only thing I play comes from only this one record. That would suck. So at least I can say there's 3, which breaks it up into at least 30 something songs that I can kind of pick from. But yeah, I guess it all depends too on the crowd. If the crowd is really good, and this is, admission, right? If the crowd is really, really good and hyper reactive, then I'll be a little bit more daring and I'll take a chance on something. Whereas if the crowd is very sort of reserved, then I'll tend to be more worried to play something that's more obscure, So, that's, kind of how it goes. But then again, sometimes I'll be like, well, if it's not, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Just stop. Before you stick foot in mouth. No, I'm kidding. But it's one of those things where it is a concern. So obviously it gets into my psyche because then when I'm working on material, that's when that monster resurfaces and it's like, why? Like, why bother? Let's just pull out some sequence and redo another version of, When We Lie or something because, that's what's going to happen, which is not a bad thing. That wound up happening in 2018. It happened that I decided that I was tired of playing the version of When We Lie that we were playing, and we decided to resequence the entire thing, and it wound up becoming much, much better, which is the version we play live now. And nobody notices that it's longer and it's got some extended bits, but it wouldn't have happened unless we were in that crisis mode. So, crisis mode. Crisis mode. I just said crisis mode. Why? They're just songs. But anyway. All right. So, we're almost down to the end. Almost. But all is well. Again, it was one of those funny things that I was thinking about all week leading up to doing the stream tonight. On the one hand, I wanted to play some material and I was going to sing and I was like, oh, we're going to do some stuff, but that didn't work out because I'm not ready. So, maybe next week I will. But at least what I think I'm going to start doing is that at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to show you where I'm at creatively. Meaning I'll show you some song I'm working on or some weird sounds I'm making, whatever the heck it happens to be. And I think from there we'll build and see where we're going. And meanwhile, we have shows. So I do have shows coming. So I'm going to play a song. This is also really old, but this is one of my favorites. This is funny. Hijack mode. I saw the hand go up. So I'm going to play one this is an example of a song that could have been on Peace. And by all means, there's many people from the early days that would say, yeah, you really should have put that on Peace because it was during that era and it was one of the songs we would play live. So there's this aspect of abox history where people know it as, this is when we got signed, this is where we went out on tour, but they don't know that there was entire sets that we would play of songs that they never heard before, but they might like if they knew they were from the same era, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so this is one of those. It's a rehearsal, so it's not that good. You'll have to excuse that. But this song, I dug out of a reel-to-reel, and I was happy that we have this version at least. And this is one of those that I may just take out of the woodworks and start playing again. I don't know. Why not? So anyway. Yeah, we'll put the distorto cam for this one. And then this is called It's Not Forever.
You were my friend so long ago. Time is at hand. Now I must go. My train is almost here. My visit was short. Excuse my appearance, I've gotten quite old. As you can see, life has been kind. At least I have that. All through the years, I thought about you all. Yes, I'm leaving, but it's not forever. Yes, I'm leaving, but it's not forever. I've got to feel the pleasure and fear. I've got to see new faces to love. I've got to live the way that I must. I've got to love the people that I trust.
So yeah, the tape died. We could see it when we were recording that the tape died because the needles, instead of doing this, they just went. And we're like, oh shit, the tape's dead. But the echo was going, so we're like, screw it. But what sucks is we used to like, for like 6 months before we left California, I think we had like literally a show a week for like those last 6 months. It was like really a lot of shows. And we were going everywhere, like Pennsylvania. We were like playing, like, that's when we played CBGBs and, did New York, all this stuff. And this song was in the set. every single time for about 6 months. So everybody knew it. Like people would request it. So it's interesting to me, just from a nostalgia point of view, it's interesting how a song that we knew so well and that fans knew so well back then just got buried in obscurity. Just because we wrote some new ones when we got to Peace. So, which is interesting because I've met fans from the Jersey days that are like, I liked Peace, but how come this wasn't on it, this wasn't on it, and this wasn't on it, and that wasn't on it? Like, what the hell, man? Why didn't you put Heaven on it? Like, it's weird because for them, they had like 5 or 6 songs that they knew that didn't make that record. So for them, that record isn't quite the one. And it's so strange to me because hundreds of thousands of people, yes, that's true, know this record as this particular collection. They have no idea that there was something that came before it that may have been really cool that they missed out on. So on some level, that kind of bugs me. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to find those sounds and resequence and find these things because it's a shame that nobody knows this. So, and this is one of those songs that never got recorded. So we don't have a single recording of it. All I have is, I know I played on this very stream a video of us playing the song, which it's in its entirety in that one video, but I don't know that I kept it. I think I just did it for one night when I had the VCR plugged in. So yeah. So Emilio says, I went to QXT's tonight to see the Meteors, and the last time I saw them was at Danceteria in 1983. The tour manager was okay. Show is okay. The place for some reason does not vie with my spirit. Glad to be here, Abox family. Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny thing, isn't it? It's like, well, that's the other side of it, right? The fans bring the energy. So it's almost as if like of course, if I had my way, right, I would do something really crazy like play, let's say, in California, but buy tickets for everyone that lives in El Paso to show up to that show so that people in California can see how people in El Paso rock it. And the same thing for Jersey. I would bring people from Jersey and bring them to like somewhere like Seattle or something and be like, this is how people in Jersey are in Seattle. If that makes any sense, because it's such a weird difference in the audience types when we travel. It's really, really cool because it's so diverse. It's never quite the same in every city. So that each one has their own vibe. So I like that. So if anything, I think I'm inspired enough to try to dig out some of those songs out of the woodworks and at least start taking them on the road, at least one or two of them, and just like enjoy them for what they are. And it's like those who understand what they are, they'll understand. And maybe I'll release them. Maybe it's time. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. So, we're coming to the end, but I'm going to try to figure out what's going on for next week. But before I do, I want to wait. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up because I'm terrible at this unless I have it in front of me. I'm terrible at remembering dates. I just want you to know that. I suck at dates. But so I don't give out the wrong date, because I'll be thinking about something like my flights or something, and then I'll realize I'll give out the wrong date. So on Friday, the 11th of February, I will be in the Crowbar in Tampa, Florida. unless something crazy happens, but I don't think it will. I think everything's fine. And on Saturday, February 12th, I'll be in West Palm Beach at Respectable Street. Those tickets are on sale. The links to them are on anythingbox.com. And you can get your tickets. I hope to see you there. It's going to be an interesting thing to go back to Florida because, I've not been back to Florida in a very long time. And I'm just anxious. I just want to see what's going to happen. Florida was very interesting for me because we actually played in Florida during the rave era. And the other shows we've done in Florida are more or less really obscure places, but we did do we did a couple of the parks. So we wound up playing in Orlando. And then we did Miami. I remember doing Miami. And I want to say Fort Lauderdale, which is where the rave thing happened. The incident, as it were. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I'm going to be in Florida. And if you're listening to this stream and you're wondering, what's he going to play? Well, I'm going to play a lot of the things that you want to hear, especially if you put them in the comments. And wherever this video winds up, put your favorites in the comments, what you want me to play, and then I will consider those as requests, and they may go into the set. So that's something to talk about, right? Do I listen to those things? Yes, I do. Do I always do them? No, I don't. But I try to get all the requests in because I know that some people want to hear certain things. So you're going to be covered. Don't worry. But if there's... I'll talk about that too. The North American Bitcoin Conference is next week in Miami, and I wish I could go, but I can't. But it's okay. My Bitcoin's safe. We will talk about crypto next week. We will, because I need to talk. Need to get back into my game plan here with crypto and NFTs. I do have to get into that, but I will. I'm excited actually about the shows and this year. I think it's going to be a good year. The only thing that made me sad was that I wasn't able to do a stream that very first week. That sucked. I will not make that mistake next year, and I will not make the mistake of being in Vegas during New Year's Eve again. It's not worth being stuck indoors. Just don't do it. Although the fireworks were really gorgeous, I will say that. But I'm not really a gambling person, so that part, it just doesn't work with me. So, and I figured out what I could do to be unbored way too late, and then by then I got sick. So, yeah, Vegas. Anyway. So, we've played Goodbye before live, Jack Mode Gahan. We have played that song live. Wendy says, I still need to claim my NFTs. Yeah, what you waiting for? It's easy. It's easy and it's freebie. So do it. Do it. I would love to do that. So anyway. Oh, Jose says, a must for me in Tampa is When We Lie. Let's just say you got it. You got it. Just promise me you'll just sing and be loud, and you got it. Yeah, of course you can, Wendy. You totally can. You can send the email. It's actually not me that has to send the email. You just have to... If you go on Bandcamp, I put a little instruction thing, and you just have to do it. It's really easy. You can just email me your Wax wallet, and I'll take care of you. Here, I'll explain it right now so that anyone who has the 12-inch and hasn't claimed their NFT, it's this simple. All you have to do is email me at Claude at endpop.com. Just email me your wax address, the number of your 12-inch or your CD, and whatever else you want me to put on that NFT. You send me those things, and I will personally mint your NFT. So I will do that. So that's all you got to do. You do that. You send me that email with the number on the record. I will shoot you back an email that gives you the link to your NFT, and you're done. So don't worry. And you'll see it in your wallet. So, all right. So, well, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. We've come to the end, and I saved a funny song for the end. This one, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I really wanted this to be on Worth, and I thought it was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. And then it, again, got lost in obscurity. But this was kind of a favorite. We used to play this in Paul's truck. Like, we would drive around in Paul's truck and play this song. And we were kind of like working out how it would sound when it was recorded. And woe and behold, it never got recorded. So it's an old one. It's from 1991-ish. And it's called You and I. And with that, I'm going to turn on the overhead, play the song, and then it's good night. So I'm going to say good night. And maybe next week I'll find that weird song on video and I'll play it. All right. I will dig out that VCR and see if I can find the darn song. But as always, take care of each other. We'll put on the color cam for this. The pixelated color cam. And here we go. You and I. Good night. And especially you, Taurus. Good night. Be strong. Stay strong. You got this.
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?